back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
When I'm in the middle of a dream, stay in bed, float upstream.
A little Beatle music carrying on here on Boomer Life with our guests from Innovative Sleep Solutions in South Surrey, White Rock. Dave Temlett and Terry Harder are the sleep solutions experts, and they're back with us in studio this morning. Terry, I gave you a fair notice here, big guy, so hit the ground running. We need to talk a little bit about it, because this is really important stuff, and this is one thing that we like to do every time we have the opportunity to have you two fellows in studio, is take a few moments and help our listeners learn good questions to ask. I mean, if you're going to go out, and you're quite right to say that most of us, when we go mattress shopping, really don't know when we know how much we want to spend. We have an idea of what we'd like, but we don't know any of the details. So as part of the show, each and every time you join us on Saturday mornings here, we take a few moments to have you help us learn good questions to ask when we take our turn to go sleep shopping. And Terry, what is the most popular form of compound mattress out there, the foams and the latexes and all that? What's the most popular one in BC these days?
Right now, gel memory foams are big, and we want to talk about the why. It's cheap to make, and certainly the manufacturer's done a good job of addressing the breathability aspect of things, as the gel does breathe much more effectively than standard memory foams, without a doubt.
Okay.
So no question of that, but at the same time, it's cheaper to make than other products, and so consequently, that's what manufacturers currently are using. Although I think you'll slowly see that change, and you'll see some examples of that in the market.
So one of the reasons for its popularity, Terry, is because of its price point. It's attractively priced. It's less expensive than any of the other compounds.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's cheaper to store in your manufacturing facility, the
Gotcha.
gel memory foam. And people have a perception that they think, for a lot of reasons, that gel is better than latex. And admittedly, for some people, it may be. At the same time, there's no question from a sleep perspective, if we analyze latex, which comes in two different processes, and you can check it, the Telalay process or the Dunlop process. So certainly those are two things, if you're Googling or checking it out, to look into.
What's the difference, though, Terry, the primary difference between foam and latex?
Well, foam is a petrochemical product. It's made from a barrel of oil. So no question of that, whereas latex is more natural. It comes from the rubber tree.
Gotcha, okay.
So that's an important distinction. It is like a rubber. And yes, it's not for everybody. Some people have said that it's like it has a little bit of bounce to it, which some people like, and others don't. So when we talk about this, each mattress is not specific to the whole population, but a lot of people have never even laid on a latex mattress.
Right.
And I look at the wow factor when they do. When they lay on a latex mattress, we just delivered one to a lady last weekend, and she was in the store 9 months ago and fell in love with our organic latex mattress. Waited 9 months to be able to afford to get it, and I was actually delivering it. And she said, my husband and I are so looking forward to this. It was like she was a kid in a candy store.
Right.
She could hardly wait. She said, in fact, that I'm going to have an afternoon nap, she said to me. She was so excited to get in it. So that's really the experience that we get from people on latex.
After waiting for 9 months, can you imagine just knowing that some night, pretty soon, I'm going to have the mattress I want and know I need, and boy, am I going to sleep like a stone.
That's right, and she did have a hard time deciding because her husband really liked the magnet bed.
Oh, okay.
Which is gaining in popularity. People really have to look into the magnets, Sterling, and I'll let Dave, because Dave is really knowledgeable on the magnets. He's really taken a lot of time to learn a lot more about magnets, maybe where I've spent more of my time in the latex.
Right, but just before we turn things over to the magnetic Mr. Temlett here,
yes,
I would like to just finishing up on the foams,
yeah.
Because you talked earlier, Terry, and you've mentioned this in the past, this whole business of off-gassing. Some products, some sleep products, contain materials that are petroleum-based or chemical-based, and in the process of sleeping on them over time, some of the gases from these ingredients actually emit from the bed. So what sorts of beds are those most likely to be?
Those would be the ones that have the base foams from China, certainly. Because again, more and more stores are looking at the CertaPure label as something, they're a non-profit business that are really just out for the consumer. And they test all of that foam. So if you're getting off-gassing, chances are there's formaldehyde, there's ozone depleters, there's heavy metal, there's mercury, there's leads, there's phthalates, there's PDBs, there's VOCs of significant
enough already.
Amounts in the
I may
foams.
never sleep again.
That's right. So again, try and research a little bit. And again, because we focus on consumers' health, it's a big deal to us to have to stand up with confidence and know that although yes, the foam that we have is a petrochemical product, that we use plant-based oils, and incidentally, we're not trying to fool anyone. They're 20% plant-based, but where we're really taking that a step above that is having them all CertaPure, tested for a lot of what you refer to as off-gassing.
Safest and healthiest foams available in the market.
That
exactly.
is it.
Right.
That is it, Sterling. So again, consider latex, but make sure you buy CertaPure foams and ask those questions, and I think you'll be satisfied with those kinds of beds, more from a breathability and from an off-gassing perspective.
Hugely appreciated. Terry, so good at setting us up with a little bit of knowledge so we can go into a store and say, okay, I'm interested in a sleep product. And what have you got? And, what have you got in a foam? What have you got in a latex, et cetera, et cetera? We need to know this. Dave, talk to us about biomagnetic beds.
BioFlex concentric circle medical magnets. Those are in the Restonic beds that are made for us that come with a very realistic 20-year warranty. And when I say realistic, most manufacturers' warranties in the marketplace that have a 20 or 25-year warranty are not credible or realistic. So these mattresses they have no coil springs in them. They're all derived from plant-based foams, the CertaPure foams, and a couple of the models will have some latex in them as well.
Okay.
Now, what makes these different is that 2 inches below the surface of the mattress, they have the BioFlex concentric circle medical magnets that are actually specifically designed exclusively for human medical use. And if you can envision a target, an archery target, Sterling, with the rings that come out from the center.
Okay, sure.
That's kind of what the magnets look like. A refrigerator magnet will have a series of positive and negative polarities that run left to right, horizontal, and there's no gap between the negative and the positive polarity. So when you're looking at the concentric circle magnets, there's a dot in the center that has the positive charge or the northern polarity, if you will.
Okay.
Then there's a space. The next ring out will have the negative or the southern polarity, and then there's a space, and then it goes to the positive, and then negative, and positive, and negative, all the way out.
So that creates a magnetic field.
Yes, indeed. And so what happens is, if you can imagine the positive and the negative polarities are somewhat fighting with each other, which causes the magnetic field to move upwards in a 3D configuration that reaches deep into the muscles and the tissues. And now what that does is it helps to reduce swelling and inflammation, and that's why it can actually be registered as a medical device, because it is proven to reduce swelling and inflammation. In addition to that, what it does is it opens up the vascular system, allowing the blood vessels to be reoxygenated quicker. It naturally increases the healing time of your body as well. So it's great for people that are do a lot of sports that are very active that way, or anybody that's been recovering from some sort of an injury, an accident, something like that. It's great for anybody that suffers from any kind of a vascular issue, diabetes, fibromyalgia, oh, good heavens, the list goes on and on.
Dave, how many of these, let's take a queen-size bed. I think queen size is most popular for couples.
Sure.
How many of these concentric circle biomagnets would be in a queen-size bed?
330, Sterling.
Okay.
And so that's quite a few magnets when you think about it. There's 15 strips, and each one of the strips has 22 magnets. King size has over 440 in them, and I sleep on one. I've had mine since we opened up, and I got to tell you, I really chuckled when it was first put out there to us.
Well, it sounds a little new agey and a little kind of weird.
Absolutely, I admit it. And the great thing is, though, the more research I did on it, the more testimonials I had from people in the States. I phoned a couple of people down there that actually have them. Everybody that has one has talked about it so favorably, and I had to have one.
Yeah, and I think where this thing gains credibility, because you've mentioned this already, this is actually registered as a medical sleep aid, and it's registered with both the Food and Drug Administration in the United States and with Health Canada, and it's the only such product registered with either government.
That is true. That's absolutely true.
So this all of a sudden, it's not new agey and weird anymore. It's a legitimate product that both countries have recognized for its efficacy.
Well, that's absolutely correct, and that's why we decided we'd go ahead with it. And you know, we're selling as many of those as we are the 100% certified organic latex. And it's, you know, both products are really second to none in the marketplace. They're two different products. But those are really in our premium quality beds, Sterling. Those are really, both lines are our best product lines.
And Dwayne's wildly signaling that we need to take a break. But just before we do, we've talked about the biomagnetic beds, but there's also such a thing as a mattress topper with these mattresses in that you could put on any type of mattress.
You can, for sure, absolutely.
So what is that, kind of like a beginner's way of getting into it, or what?
Well, I wouldn't call it a beginner's way, but I mean they're ideal for people that have that want to take advantage of the benefit of having the magnet therapy, that already have a bed that is in really good shape.
So they're
that
okay with their bed,
replaced.
but they want the mattress, the magnetic add-on.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
And then in addition to that, as you know, we carry all of the braces, the accessories, the wrist splints, knee splints, wraps, back supporters, everything with the magnets. Check out our website, InnovativeSleep.ca.
Oh, and that you just took the words out of my mouth. As we go to break, I usually say they're online at InnovativeSleep.ca, but obviously that's not necessary this time. The address is 3033 King George Boulevard, right across from Ocean Park 4 down there in South Surrey, White Rock. The Sleep Solutions expert, Dave Temlett and Terry Harder from Innovative Sleep Solutions, with more after this.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.